I am talking to you yourself. I am in the same room, in the same house you are living in. And I am not talking to the crowd, but to you yourself. Then be very, very careful. The slightest change in your being will move mountains and project yourself as a giant in the world of events. Try to understand this. The slightest change in your being will move mountains and project yourself as a giant in the world of events. You're here for one only reason: to win death. To win death. You have to understand that your inner being, your body, your world are one and the same thing. Then whatever happens within you in time is happening in your body and then in the world itself. Your inner being is the creator, the dreamer, the doer. The master. And first of all, is mastering yourself, producing yourself, and projecting yourself in the world of events. You yourself are the creator, no one outside yourself. You have to understand this. You are not attracting anything from the world around you. You are creating the world around you. Then, whatever you see and touch is already the past. Whatever you see and touch in the world has already happened within yourself. That's why, if you read my books, that's why I say that out there, there is no war, no conflict, no poverty, no starving children. This is all a description that you yourself project in a world that is just a reflection of your inner being. Then don't worry about the world. Worry only about yourself. The world is waiting for you to be created, and not vice versa. Whatever happens out there has to have your inner consent, your inner approval to happen. Otherwise, it cannot happen. If you find yourself in a war, in a conflict, in poverty, you have to understand that all this is happening within yourself. It's just a war within and not without. It's a war that you carry within yourself. If you get rid of all conflicts, of all negative emotions, worries, fears, doubts, you will never find yourself in any conflict. in any war, because you yourself are the dreamer, creator, and doer of the universe which is surrounding you. I know that it sounds paradoxical, but this has been my realization, my discovery. Then the slightest change in your being moves mountains. Then how can we change? How can we return to your very nature? It is nothing to achieve. It is not something that you have to find outside yourself. It is something that is within you. You have just to remember. And the closer you are to yourself, the greater will be your life. You yourself, the body, and the world around you are one and same thing. They appear distant, separated from you. Just because you yourself invented a device called time. And it was your invention, so just to see and touch what you are not able to see and touch within yourself. Then time is just a device, it's a tool, an instrument to let you see what is going on within yourself. Your inner being plus time becomes the world around you. And the world is telling you all that you don't want to see and touch within. The world has this ungrateful task to tell you all the truth about you. Something that you are not able to admit, you're not able to see within. Then the world is there just to tell you what is going on within you. And if you find yourself in a war, in a conflict, in poverty, in an accident, in illnesses, it is just because that very thing happened within yourself first. Then if you don't pay attention to your inner being, this state of forgetfulness will appear outside yourself in very difficult circumstances and events. And you believe that all those things are coming from outside, but it is you yourself who are producing whatever you see that is wrong in the world. You can say that the media are telling you what is going on. News and the newspapers and the TV, but it's just you yourself. You are responsible for all and everything. You yourself. If you start to just think about it, you will see that the world around you will change for the best. You will stop complaining, you will stop blaming, accusing the others for all your misfortunes. You will stop self-justifying. And this is interesting. This is the very beginning of your becoming aware of your inner creatorship, godship, mastership, ownership. And then the world is there just to obey, to all your commands. The world is as it is because you are as you are. Remember this. The world is as it is because you are as you are, not vice versa. You yourself are the world of causes, and the world just the world of effects. The world is just a mirror, is mirroring you, whatever is happening within you. This is not spirituality. This is capacity of doing, the very power of doing. When you understand, when you realize that you are the very cause of all and everything, then you will never complain, blame, or self-justifying. That is when you are responsible for all and everything.
Good afternoon.
Agradeço primeiramente por poder estar aqui.
I thank for the opportunity of being here. The book has transformed my vision as a whole, as I'm sure that for everyone here. I have several questions, but I'll make the first one. About the dreamer, I'd like to know if the dreamer is a being inside me, or if Elio saw the dreamer in person, or if the dreamer is a wishing, is a gaming of self-realization. I mean, in the end, I would like to know what is the dreamer. I'd like you to talk a little bit more about the dreamer.
You yourself are the dreamer. Doesn't matter, if it is Elio or if it is somebody else. You yourself are the dreamer, the creator, and the doer. And whatever is happening in your life is just coming from within you. You yourself are the dreamer. And the dream happens just in this very moment. You cannot dream something in time. Dreaming happens only in this very instant, this precise instant. If you are deciding something to happen, that is not dreaming. Desire something else. It's not dreaming.
I am the dreamer.
Yes, you are.
Sim, você é o dreamer.
And when you read The School for Gods or The Technology of the Dreamer, you are just reading yourself.
Wow. Tá.
Wow, okay.
Entendi.
Perfect. I got that.
Obrigada.
Thank you.
Muito obrigada, Sueli.
Thank you very much, Sueli.
Próxima pessoa que está aqui é
The
Daniel.
next
Daniel,
person
por favor,
is
habilite
Daniel.
o microfone e faça a
Daniel, please open your mic and do your question. Make your question.
Boa tarde.
Good afternoon. I appreciate Elio's presence here. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. My question, well, I have several questions, but the first one is about the Lupelius manuscript. I think that's the most interesting chapter in your book, and I would like to know very much if this manuscript still exists. And if it does, if it exists, do you uh, pre- do you intend to uh, publish it?
Many ask, about the Lupelius. But, it doesn't matter if Lupelius exists or not. It matters what happened within yourself when you read about Lupelius. Lupelius is always you yourself. Lupelius is a dreamer. Lupelius and the dreamer and the protagonist are both you yourself. I mean, you should just think about it as something that you yourself have written, and not Elio D'Anna. You wrote this book. Otherwise, you couldn't get in touch with it.
Obrigado.
Thank you.
O Dreamer fala sobre
Dreamer talks about
sono
the
e ele fala
fight against sleep
frugalidade na comida.
and also about
No livro,
frugality in food.
o Dreamer,
And I
ele
noticed
quase
that
ele
in
nem
the book,
toca na comida, né?
the
Mas
dreamer
isso
doesn't
é
even
muito
touch the
focado
food,
no livro.
but
Então eu queria
that's,
saber
that isn't mentioned a lot.
por quê.
But
O exercício
first, I would like
físico,
to know why.
eu entendo,
The physical exercise, I
tem
understand.
outro item que ele fala, o
Eating,
silêncio
I
é
also
meditação.
understand.
Mas quando ele
Silent
fala
is
da
meditation.
frugalidade
But
na
when he
comida
talks
e
about frugality
sono, eu
in
fiquei
food
com
and the
umas
fight against
questões.
sleep,
Se
I
o Hélio
got a
puder
few
falar um pouco
questions.
sobre isso, eu
If
queria
Elio
saber
could
por
talk
quê
a little bit about it, I'd like to know why
esse item dentro
why
e
this
como
item
o como é fácil, né? Mais ou menos, não é tão fácil. Principalmente com
and
relação
how,
ao sono,
but especially regarding sleep
que comer ou não
and
comer nada,
what to
enfim.
eat, how much to eat, or should I not eat at all? I'd like him to talk a little bit about it, please.
Eat less, sleep less, and die less. They are all connected. To eat less is very, very important for your health. Sleep less, it means that you fall in a sort of deep unconsciousness, forgetfulness, which is very harmful to you. Then if you sleep, I mean less, not to not sleep at all. To sleep less, just because you can break that period of time, which is a sort of death. Then if you can awake every 2 or 3 hours, just to break that state of unconsciousness, that will do a lot of benefit to you. Then eat less, because eating with some fasting is very healthy for you. Sleeping less, because sleeping is very much close to death. Then sleeping less, it means just to interrupt that sort of 7, 8, 9 hours of death. And die less, it means that you have to love yourself within. That means to stop dying, because we die thousands of times every day, with the stupid things, just get offended or fear or doubts or whatever. They are all little deaths which create a sort of self-sabotage, to die within yourself in fear, doubts, in misery within yourself, despair or whatever, negative emotions. They are all deaths. If you stop dying within, then you will see that you will never witness any death outside yourself. Not even for a pet. You will never witness any death outside yourself. Then you have to stop dying within. And then you will see that one day also the physical death will disappear. Eat less,
Obrigada.
sleep less,
Coma
die
menos.
less.
Obrigada. Thank you. I'll try.
You're welcome.
I remember that in the book, you mention that practice breathing exercises, and you also mentioned that you do running, and my question is that exercises have been prescribed by the dreamer himself. Are there other exercises that you perform? Can you suggest other practice of exercises?
Yes, this is something that you can apply to your life, but that is not the main thing. You can run, you can fast, let's say fasting, and you can eat less or sleep less. But this will never make you immortal or a Superman. It's you have to get closer and closer to yourself while you are living your ordinary life. You have to be able to be intact, united within, and to be able outside yourself to act as an actor, as an actress. Your relationship with the people and with the others. This is very difficult, very, very difficult. You have to be united within, and you have to be acting as an actor outside yourself, whatever is the role that you are going to play. This is interesting, because if you are able to be integrated within yourself, to be an integrity within yourself, and to act as an actor outside yourself, you will see that is the fastest way to understand. It's very difficult, but you can be able to do it, Acting outside yourself doesn't mean you are lying. Acting consciously, your role in life, whatever you are, if you are a doctor, if you are an engineer, if you are a worker or whatever, you have to act that role and never to believe in that role. Because if you believe, you identify with it and you get lost. You have to act, your role, and never to believe in what you're doing in the outer life. Remain united within yourself, intact within yourself, and act consciously, impeccably, your role outside yourself. You will read it. There are many paragraphs and chapters about it. I don't know if you read the second book, the Technology of the Dreamer. It tells you about how to act outside yourself while you are remembering yourself. This is very, very, very important, because when you are in the world, you are with the others, you forget yourself. And that is a sort of self-sabotage. You have to remember yourself, and at the same time, you have to act your role. You have to play your role that you usually were doing before unconsciously. Now you have to act consciously your role. If you act it, you will see that very soon you will jump into another dimension. But you have to learn how to act, recite, act as an actor.
Trabalho basicamente sobre o
A
nível de
work
consciência.
on my consciousness, the level of consciousness.
I didn't understand the question.
He's asking if it's a job, a work on himself, on the level of his consciousness.
Isso.
You call it consciousness. You call it consciousness. Let's say I call it being. It's your level of being. The more you remember yourself, the more you will be integrated within yourself. Doesn't matter what is going on outside yourself. You have always to be very close to yourself. That is what I call remembering yourself. You have to be always very close to yourself. You know, whatever is happening outside, doesn't matter what is going on outside yourself. But if you remember yourself, if you get closer and closer to yourself, you will see that the world will be safe. The entire world will be safe.
Ok, obrigado.
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, you all. It's a pleasure to be here with Elio. Thank you so much. I would like to know if we're living in a simulation, if this reality is virtual one. Thank you.
May I see your face? Is it possible?
Ele quer ver meu rosto. Elio, só momento.
Oh, Elio, just a moment, please.
Okay,
Hello.
good. Yeah, you see lots of movies, don't you? No,
Estou.
Yes, I am.
And then magic, so you know,
Sim.
on everybody. But anyway, you yourself, you have to understand that you yourself are the only one existing. This is, it sounds paradoxical, but you have to understand that you are the only one who is creating all this show, all this beautiful show that is what we call life or the outer reality. But everything, all and everything is happening within yourself. Then if you call it, just simultaneous reality happening in the outer world, I can, you can also, just perceive the world as you are telling me. But I tell you that if you pay attention to yourself, and you will see the world as something that is just a projection. You cannot give to the world any meaning. The world doesn't have any sense, but what you are giving to it. Whatever you are within yourself, the world is just reflecting. And you have just to be spectator, someone who is witnessing something that has been created within yourself. Then just, get closer and closer to yourself and see that you are the creator and the dreamer and the doer of this magnificent show.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes, I'm very grateful to be here, and I'm very excited. Everyone looks so beautiful. My question is about immortality. This was the first question came to my mind, but I have plenty of questions for you, Elio. But this one is about immortality. We talk about immortality as immortality of the soul, immortality of the consciousness. I had the chance to read your book very early, thanks to Ali Ayaz, who introduced me to you, and I studied in ESC in London.
Oh, great.
I believe I have been following these principles and inquiring and doing meditations. Your words have been with me throughout my journey to explore more about this. And this took me to a deep, deep, deep spiritual happenings, spiritual or consciousness on the being level. And as my abilities awakened and my perception expanded, or I became freer and closer, so I understand immortality from several perspectives and receive guidance and messages from the dreamer within myself. And I want to understand, and also, in the ancient traditions as well, there are so many information about immortality. I teach as well about consciousness and being the true self, meditation, things like that. So we have immortality popping up all the time, and in our in the insights teachings we share in our group. And what is your take on physical immortality? I know about Saint Germain being, I don't know if you heard about Ascended Master Saint Germain or Babaji. They keep coming back into physical form as they wish or require.
Yeah.
And, it's just, or you might bring a new approach to it. So I would like to learn more about that.
Yes.
If it is relevant, of course.
Yeah. Where are you from?
I am originally from Turkey, but I live in London.
Oh, good.
Yes. Thank you.
For now, don't worry about physical immortality. Just be concerned about deathlessness, a state of deathlessness. Deathless is an inner state where, we identify with the negative emotions, with fears, doubts, and all the misery. When you are identified, you are lost and you are sabotaging yourself. Then that is the real death, when you kill yourself inside. Many people say, but I've seen someone dying in my life, people very close to me. A child of mine died at 2 years old with cancer. I mean, what is it? Injustice? Why we are going to die? And I asked these people, which is the way they're living, and you will see that they are managing their inner life badly. Then we have to start with this state of being, deathlessness. which is to love yourself inside. You know, in my language, and also in Portuguese and Spanish and French, we call love, we call amor, which means absence of death. Absence of death, that is love. That is amor. Absence of death. Then let's start with your inner states to be, you know, fearless, doubtless, timeless, and deathless within yourself. And then you will see that physical immortality is just a device, I can say. It is a very, very simple thing. It will become a very simple thing. So like we are flying with aircrafts, we are communicating through internet and AI and robots and all those things. But you will see that physical immortality will become possible only when you are deathless, in a state of deathlessness. And it will be very simple. There are no doctrines, no meditations, no disciplines that can make you immortal, but only you yourself. Remember this, your body is indestructible. Your body is indestructible. The only one who can destroy it is you yourself. And no one outside yourself. Nothing outside yourself.
Ciao, Elio. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Eduardo. I remember you very well.
Então, meu inglês é um pouquinho fraco, eu vou fazer a pergunta em português.
Well, my English is not that good, so I'm going to ask in Portuguese, okay? I would like to know, Elio, what is your experience with the dreamer in relation to mathematics? I am very keen on mathematics. I've some dreams. I dream with mathematical equations. I've always admired Descartes, Newton, Einstein, Leonardo da Vinci, these great scientists. And you, as a creator of an economy school, I really would like to understand your guidance through the dreamer, you know, to perform better in the mathematics. If you had also some experience with mathematics when you created the European School of Economics. This is my question.
That's you have to know that I was a rock star a long time ago, and music was my was my way. And, you see, music is also mathematics. You have to. I was very much into it.
Yes.
Seeing music as something that could be sort of a mirror of the way to grow and to evolve. And you see, in the music, there are notes. If you see the piano, you will see that you have 7 notes which have a pause. After 3 notes, do, re, mi, there is a pause, and there is and then there is you go to fa, sol, la, si, and there is another pause. You remember this? This is very interesting to understand.
Yeah.
It's interesting because you see that missing of the black note is where you have to intervene in your life. And you have to intervene with something that creates a sort of shock. You have to remember yourself in that very pause in your life. It will happen all the time. Whatever you will do, in life. If you are a doctor or whatever, if you are an engineer, or if you have a family, if you have children and all those things, you have to understand that in our life there is that sort of missing that note, which is the great opportunity for you to jump into a next dimension. Then, our life goes on like do, re, mi. Then there is a pause, which is an opportunity where you have to remember yourself, and then you will see you will go upwards, vertically. And that is fa, sol, la, si. And then again, vertically. If you don't do that, as all the ordinary people do, you have to return, every time on yourself. Do, re, mi. Then if you don't enter into something that is, let's say, intentional effort, you will see that it will turn on itself. And do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, it becomes a vicious circle. Then you repeat your life all the time, and you get entrapped, imprisoned in this. And this is what happens to ordinary people. You have to understand that in your life always happen when something stops, and you have to find something that can allow you to go vertically, upward. And that is something that you have to do intentionally, consciously. This is mathematics from my point of view. This is the way how to use, notes, music, mathematics, or science, if you want to believe in science. It's the way that you can really, turn something that is just a stop in your life in an opportunity. This is very, very interesting. But you see, I didn't want to go into something scientific because otherwise you get really imprisoned in science. And I don't believe in science because it is again another entity that will make you distant from yourself. You have to just turn towards yourself, and you will find all that you are looking for. Whatever you are looking for is within yourself. Outside yourself, science or technology are just another way to forget yourself. And you can go on and on, believing that there are new technologies, new science, but you will always turn in that vicious circle, and you will never find anything that will fulfill you. It's very important to understand that you are the creator and the dreamer of your own reality. If you get closer and closer to yourself, you will see that life outside yourself, or what we call reality outside yourself, will follow.
Hi, Elio. Nice to meet
Ciao.
you. Ciao.
Ciao. Come stai?
Julia, hi. Elio, I wrote my question. I'll read it for you, okay? Reading your books, I have seen the dreamer talks about the individual who hides at the center of lifeless organizations. He talks about work as slavery, and then talks about the dream. When I look at myself, I don't see a dream. I don't know how to do anything other than work a day in a public job to survive and make money. But I feel like something is missing. I'm not satisfied. I feel confused. So, after all, what exactly is the dream and how to make it come true? How to act to get out of this state? Thank you.
I am sure that in a couple of decades, the work will stop existing, because intelligent machines and robots and computers and AI and whatever is coming after is just occupying all the jobs that human beings were occupying before. Then I believe in a new era, a new epoch, where you will be jobless. But this is not a threat. This is a blessing, where you have to, right now, you have to get ready to prepare yourself to this new era, where men will be without any job, or what we believe that is a job, which is, from my point of view, is a sort of slavery. And to dedicate himself, herself, just to not doing, the sweet non-doing. This is the only job that is expecting the new humanity. You have to get rid of all the fatigue and all the slavery that just to exchange your time for a paycheck. Then you have to return to your very nature of a creator and understand that working is not for humanity, and it is something that it's just a slavery. It's something that we created just because we believe in wars, conflicts, poverty, and all those things. But that is a sort of sickness, something that happens within ourselves. And if you get rid of all, the description of conflict, description of wars, and description of economy, and as it is, you will see that you will get ready for a new era, which is the golden creative leisure. Do you understand the leisure? Leisure.
Yeah,
The sort of, it's a sort of idleness, but that is not to be passive. It is very proactive. And then where all art, sport, culture, and all things that are not a fatigue, are not a work, but it is a sort of free time where you can enjoy yourself. This is what I believe that will happen. Then it's all the jobs that you find outside yourself are just, something that will delay your growth and development.
So the dream is not exactly something that I do external, but something that I find inside myself. Is just a question of what I am exactly. I understand this way. I don't know if it is the meaning of this.
Probably, I guess what you meant. Yeah, your outer life is reflecting your inner level of responsibility, but the responsibility is an inner matter. Responsibility is not how many people you are commanding, in the outer life. Responsibility is the capacity to deal with your inner being, the capacity that you have to manage and to be very close to whatever is happening within yourself. Doesn't matter if it is a hell within yourself. It is very important that you are aware of it and not trying to change it. Then if you are aware of all the disaster that you carry within yourself, you will see that the outer life will reflect it in a great way. You have just to be aware of what is going on within yourself and never trying to change it, never trying to change a negative emotion to a positive one. It's you will fail. You have just to be aware of it. This is the fastest way to grow and to return to your very nature.